Lately, in the eyes of many, Lamar Jackson's actions off the field has been questionable. This has caused some fans and critics to begin questioning his heart and integrity. Did he sit out at the end of last year's regular season? Is he being greedy with the money he's demanding? Does he really deserve more than what he is allegedly being offered? Given the current facts, it's safe to say nothing will happen until after the draft. The Ravens place the non-exclusive franchise tag on Lamar Jackson. This means that Lamar is free to negotiate with other teams for a contract, and teams are allowed to offer Lamar Jackson a deal. However, Baltimore will have the final say and can match any offer made to Lamar. This, plus the fact that all of the top candidates to land Lamar have come out and made it clear that they will not offer Lamar a deal at this time. Falcons owner Arthur Blank said publicly that the team planned on sticking with quarterback Desmond Ridder for 2023 and would not pursue the 2019 NFL MVP. According to Jeff Howe of The Athletic, a league source said the Patriots signing Jackson to an offer sheet or trading for him is just not going to happen. That report comes 2 days after Patriots owner Robert Kraft said that he received a text message from rapper Meek Mill about Jackson wanting to play for the Patriots. The Colts have not ruled out acquiring Lamar, but the problem they run into is the compensation necessary to acquire him. Regarding Lamar Jackson, Colts owner Jim Irsay was emphatic, saying the money is not a problem, but instead took issue with the draft capital/compensation necessary to acquire him, since the Ravens are going to match almost any offer. If a team chooses to sign Lamar, they would either have to offer a ridiculous deal plus give up their high pick in this year's and next year's draft, or offer the Ravens a trade deal that is too good to turn down. Teams would rather wait until after the draft to keep their top pick this year and use it to add to the team instead of losing it now to the Ravens. The Ravens also do not want to trade Lamar. John Harbaugh and the Ravens have made it clear that they are still building the offense around Lamar and that they want him back next season. Any trade will have to include assets that hit it out the park. The Ravens have also approached quarterbacks like Baker Mayfield exclusively with offers to be backup quarterback. So where is Lamar Jackson going to play? Lamar is coming back to the Ravens. Lamar is under the impression that the Ravens do not want to match his value, but this is not true. He made his belief very clear with the letter he published on his social networks, saying, quote, "I want to thank you all for the love and support that you constantly show me. On March 2nd, I requested a trade with the Ravens organization because they were not interested in meeting my value. Although this may seem like the case, it is not. The Ravens do not want to and cannot afford to pay Lamar more than they have to. Lamar believes he is worth a fully guaranteed top dollar contract. The Ravens are saying, we have our contract that we think is fair, and you have your number." Instead of just placing the regular tag on Lamar, them placing the exclusive tag on Lamar is telling him that if he can go get the contract he believes he deserves, they will match the offer and give him the deal the market decided he's worth. This brings up the next question: should Lamar refuse to play for the Ravens and sit out next season? Many say Lamar should hold out, but that would be a huge mistake. The Ravens are not disrespecting Lamar Jackson by not offering him the deal he wants. Just because you want a specific deal does not mean that's what you're worth. If the market is not offering you the deal you want, then maybe that is telling you that you are not worth what you are demanding. The owners are not conspiring against Lamar. The fact of the matter is that he is asking for a hefty price. Maybe no team is interested in offering a fully guaranteed lucrative deal. Maybe teams are waiting until after the draft like I mentioned earlier. You see, the problem is that there are many former and current players, like Teddy Brisky, trying to live vicariously through Lamar Jackson. For whatever reason, they believe that players should be given fully guaranteed deals and that this is a feasible measure for the owners and the NFL. So in order to feed their narratives and agenda, they want Lamar Jackson to be collateral damage and a sacrificial lamb to this movement. This added pressure has done nothing but harm Lamar, And also, if you want to argue that Lamar Jackson no doubt deserves a fully guaranteed deal, we can go there. Jackson is coming off a physically challenging end to 2022 yet again, in which he finished with 2,242 yards in 12 games, with 17 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, a significant drop-off from some of his best years in the league. This, plus the fact that Lamar has been missing in action at crucial times over the last few seasons while his competitors are competing at the highest levels. Many have believed that Lamar did and should have sat out the end of last year because his lack of a contract. If this is the case, Lamar Jackson is not worth a single penny. When Lamar is genuine and putting his all out there, he is the best player to ever play the game. But if he is sitting out of games and seasons over money, he is a middle to bottom tier quarterback in the league. Mahomes, Hurts, and Burrow have all made Super Bowl appearances, while Lamar has not been seen in the playoffs since losing to Josh Allen, and 2 of them are also up for new contracts. Josh Allen has also been making deep playoff runs, while Lamar has been missing in action. So now you must ask yourself, does he definitively deserve more money than these guys? Does Lamar even deserve what he is asking for? And the truth is, he deserves everything he's asking for. Lamar Jackson, when genuine, is the best player to ever play. Although he has missed the end of the last 2 seasons, he hasn't been consistently missing time. It just so happens that his short-term injuries happened near the end of the regular season, forcing him to miss 2 important times. His style of play is not a concern because he has been able to compete against any team at any time at any level, no matter who he is playing with, and has won MVP in the meantime. Anybody questioning his ability to play and his health is clearly ill-informed. Also, the Ravens, as mentioned earlier, are also looking to add a veteran quarterback to back up Lamar in order to stay competitive if Lamar does happen to go down. A real Lamar is unbeatable, but this businessman Lamar who the media created that sits out at the end of seasons, who holds out of regular seasons for contracts, who misses important parts of seasons in the name of contracts and politics, is a mediocre quarterback and not worth much of anything. He was indeed out of action while the other top players were competing for championships. But Lamar has cleared the air with many of the fans and critics who were questioning his heart and integrity. Lamar Jackson took to Twitter and said, "I don't remember me sitting out on my guys Week 1 versus Jets to Week 12 versus Broncos," Jackson wrote. "How come all of a sudden I sit out because of money in which I could have got hurt at any time within that time frame when we know the Super Bowl been on my mind since April 2018. Lamar Jackson's previous silence and cryptic messaging caused confusion and for many fans to turn on him. However, his recent comments have been enough assurance to his fans and the people that he still has his integrity. You might even think that the way Lamar acted at the end of last year looked bad, but at the end of the day, if the guy can't play, he can't play. Lamar should also remember that you can't get everything in one deal. If you want to create generational wealth, you have to get it outside of football. None of the big winners in sports history has been known as the top earners. Tom Brady never sat out over a deal, Michael Jordan hasn't, Kobe Bryant hasn't, Larry Bird hasn't, Magic Johnson, none of these guys have been known as the top earners. However, on the other hand, the top earners have been proven to be uncompetitive when it comes to winning. Cam Chancellor held out, and we haven't heard from him since. Chris Johnson held out for a bigger deal and got it, however his numbers dipped until he found himself out of the league. Jamarcus Russell held out for a big rookie deal and was a bust. Glenn Robinson held out for a $100 million deal and never won anything in his career. And Allen Houston was the first $100 million man in the NBA and nobody knows him. Steph Curry has nowhere near the top salary once he started winning championships, but now has got all the money he deserved on the back end. Mahomes signed what many consider a slave deal, but it works for him and he's competing. The point is, you can't be money man and a winner. The money will come with your success, not the success with your money. Sitting out for money and missing important time will clearly show where his mind is and the results will follow. Finally, the last point is, there is nothing wrong with Lamar Jackson coming back to the Ravens. The media and players often make it seem like a team signing a player to a franchise tag or not renegotiating their contract is disrespectful or a slap to the face, but this is a flawed narrative. I would like to point out that the players knew the rules when they signed the collective bargaining agreement, and they know the rules when they sign their personal contracts. Any player that signs a deal or franchise tag and then chooses not to play under the deal they signed is selfish, greedy, and does not deserve a contract in the first place. If you signed a deal and you end up outplaying the money on the deal, but the team does not offer you more money before the deal is finished, there is no fault in that. The owner got a good deal and won this time. Just like if you underperform but get more than your production was worth, you won that time. Many argue about injuries, but if Dak was not proof enough, whether you get injured or not, someone will offer you the deal you deserve. There's nothing wrong with playing under a franchise tag, you're still going to get paid no matter what. Rules are rules. The NFL players signed the collective bargaining agreement agreeing to the tag and the rules behind it, so everyone knows the deal. No one is a victim here, and with the tag, you're still going to get paid a lot of money. How long is everyone's contract with their job? Barely anybody gets guaranteed long-term deal with their jobs, so whatever you have to do to fulfill your requirements under a tag is what it is. If you want an unrestricted free agent experience, do what you have to do to get it. But you are not going to get it trying to take a fictitious stand in the fashion of sitting out and being a cancer like Colin Kaepernick. Don't let the media make you do what they want you to do. Ideally, stay true to what's right and your integrity. People like Marcus Spears, Stephen A. Smith, and other analysts are not making things easier for Lamar. Their push to get Lamar to leave Baltimore in the name of money and creating a narrative that he is being disrespected is forcing him to make unwise decisions. His tweet during the Ravens press conference was a direct attack fueled by emotion. Lamar Jackson can come back to the Ravens and still be a man. His relationship with the Ravens is not beyond repair. We know the Ravens will be Cheapy the cheapskate, but they are not being cheap out of disrespect. They will pay Lamar, but they will pay Lamar the last second they have to, and no more money than they have to. They will match all offers, but just enough, because they cannot afford to pay any more than they have to. The Ravens are known to be very technical in their strategy. 3 down seasons in Baltimore, and the team could find itself moving to New Mexico, so you have to bear with the franchise. Players for the Ravens that have a problem with Lamar Jackson also need to cut it out. We recently and in the past listened to Marlon Humphrey's comments and tweets on Lamar Jackson's tweets and contract situation. In his remarks the other day after Lamar made his trade request, he stated, "Handle your business." And earlier in the season when reacting to Lamar's tweets directed towards Bernard Pollard, Humphreys slipped out some discontent with Lamar's reaction. The defense has shown slight signs of passive aggressiveness and discontent with Lamar Jackson. If any player has a problem, they need to leave now because Lamar is here to stay. The noise and attention he brings is here to stay, and the Ravens are happy to have it. Don't let the media fool you and take you out of your position. You can come back to the Ravens next year and still be the face and love the same. The media lives on narratives, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's what they do for a living. But none of them from Stephen A. to Marcus Spears actually know what they're talking about, because none of us are Lamar at the end of the day. They just entertain with their opinions. Lamar Jackson letting them dictate where he's going and his decisions is like letting someone else convince you to fight someone that you actually have no real problem with. So let's get something straight. At the end of the day, the Ravens are not getting rid of him, and there is nothing wrong with him returning to Baltimore, only that Lamar has not come to an agreement because, let's remember, he is his own agent. Everybody loves him and forgives him, even if he did something wrong at some point that needs forgiveness. We cannot wait to see Lamar Jackson play Week 1 for the Ravens. And remember, the Colts suck, the Falcons are dead, New England ain't talking about nothing, the Raiders need to bring back John Gruden, and the Redskins don't exist anymore. See you next time.